Hi folks, welcome to another STEMforce tutorial from KIOSC. Today we're working in Pixilart. Hi folks, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a Pixilart account. Go to Google, type in pixilart.com. Now just make you aware that if you are under 13, Pixilart asks you to create an account with your parent and guardian's consent. So all you need to do that is one of your parents' emails or guardian's emails and your birth date. So if you are under 13, please make sure you are using a parent's email and putting in your birth date to finalize that account. So if you are over 13, you can use your own email. So just type in the email you want to use and then click Create Account. Go through the captcha settings. So I'm just going to click on to log in and sign up. I already have an account, so I'll click on Sign In. And I've just used my personal email address. So if you click on the little image here, top right, that will take you to your profile. So you can click on Gallery, and the gallery shows you the designs that you've already made. So it's a little bit like a social media page, Facebook or Instagram, something like that. You have followers and you have likes and this kind of thing. I'm going to show you a rock. This is the first thing we're going to make. So when you click on any of your images you've made or designs, it'll open up the gallery and then you can just have a look at how many views it has and gives you an option to turn it into some merch. But we're going to first go to click on our profile again, and what I want to do is start drawing. So we'll click Start Drawing, and it says, looks like you didn't save your latest changes, and autosave has loaded it for you. So it's handy that it does that. Click New Drawing if you want to start a new drawing. So I will make a new drawing. So I'll click New Drawing. And we're going to work in this size, 32 by 32 pixels. So I'll click that, and it brings up our document. So you can see here we have 32 by 32. And if I start drawing with the mouse, the first color that comes up is black. So I'm going to be using a drawing tablet because I find that a lot easier, and that's what I'm used to using when I make digital art. So we're going to go and we're going to take the pencil, and when you click the pencil, you'll notice that it draws in 1 pixel lines. You can change the size of your pencil if you go over to your right hand corner, and you can make it larger. I'm going to put it back to 1, and I'm just going to copy that as best as I can. Nice to start with something a little bit easier. We'll get to some more complex characters and sprites once we go through the basics. So here's my rock. And like Paint and other art programs you may have used in the past, you have the option to use a paint bucket. So I'm going to select the paint bucket here, and over to my right hand side, under the default colors, we have a whole lot of color options. So if you click that little drop down, that little arrow, you've got commonly used colors, skin tones, a few varieties. So I'll just chuck it on default, and I'm going to go down to the bottom, and down the bottom we have some grey tones. So I'm going to do a base of this grey here, and I'm going to click my paint bucket, and that'll paint that rock in grey. So this art, this grey area and this black outline is happening on the layer. So if I click that background layer, I can hide it. So I've got some other information here, some highlights and other scratches and stuff on the rock. I'm going to put that on the second layer. So if you click the plus, it's going to make a new layer, and then you can actually type the name of the layer here. So I'm going to put in tone. So I'll put in, I think I'll do mid-tone. Go OK. And you'll notice here I've got a grey main tone, and I have some dark tones and some mid-tones there. So I might get a similar color to that one. So I'll grab this, and I'm going to change my brush size. So go under the colors. I'm going to drag that up to 4. Make sure I'm on my pencil, and then I can just draw in some quick grey areas. I'm matching up my grey with the bottom of the rock here. So that whole bottom section is going to have some grey, large grey squares. I think that looks alright. I think I might go down here too. And I will adjust my pencil size to back to 1, and I can just add a few more lines here, like this, and one in here, and maybe I'll just put a few there, and make that a bit more of a gradual step up. Alright, I'm happy with the bottom section there, so I'm going to do another layer. So press the plus, and we're going to call this dark tone. So I'll type in dark tone here and go OK. And I'll grab this one. So that's the second darkest of the greys. And I'm on my grey layer. You can just see here too that your layers are working if you just click that little white dot. So I'm in my dark layer, and I'm going to add a little, actually I might go back to this one, back to mid. If you want to grab a color, you can use the eyedropper or the pipette, and that'll collect the color from the layer you're on. And I just want to fix this little bit here, so that's a bit more of a gradual kind of step there. Couple dots there, and a couple there. Cool. Go back to dark, grab my second darkest tone, and I'm just going to do a similar thing. So I'm just going to put those little dark pixels down the bottom, like so, and I'll do the same on this layer here. You'll notice what I'm doing is I'm sort of keeping the lines that I'm doing in steps, so it's like an even shading. So I'm doing it gradually to create that illusion of it being some kind of a object with some form or 3D nature to it. think I'll do another line under here, but maybe I'll just do it on this side, and I'll leave that bit unshaded. I think I'll just leave that off actually. Maybe. You can also use a rubber. So rubber's next to the pencil, and then you can just erase anything you don't like. I think I'm going to leave that like that, and I'll call that one finished. So we've gone over how to create layers. Click the plus button here to make a layer. Click the trash button to delete it. Click the middle visible button there to hide it. So we've got our background, mid-tone, and our dark tones. Looks like a fairly realistic rock as far as pixel art goes. We've gone over using the pencil and adjusting the size using that slider. We've gone over the paint bucket. So anytime you have a solid shape, the paint bucket will paint that in. We can have a little experiment with that here. So let's say you want to make this rock a totally different color. Under your tools palette here, you also have an option to change the colors here. So if I click that, I can select the color by pressing the blue button, and if I'm on the background layer, it'll paint inside that black line whatever color you've selected. Just the same as Microsoft Paint. And once again, you can change your colors in the default color panel. So now we need to save our artwork. Because we're working in Scratch to make our designs, we will need to save our files as PNGs. So we'll go up to File here, and you have a whole lot of different options. So let's go to Download. If we go to Download, it gives you the option here in blue to save as a PNG or a GIF. It also asks you what size you want to save it as. Now we're going to be saving it the same size as the document we made. So I'll go select 32 in the width and 32 in the height, and I'll click Download. That downloads your image to your downloads folder. So I'll just open that up here. And what I'm going to get you to do for the term, while we're working in Scratch and Pixilart, it's really important that we keep our files organized and we name them. So Pixilart will give your file an automatic name. So we're going to need to change that. So I'm going to rename that, and I'm going to call it Rock 01. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to need to make a folder for all the different art that I make in Pixilart. So for the term, you guys are going to make a folder called Pixilart, and we'll put that onto our desktop today. So we'll go to Desktop. We will make a new folder. So just right click, new folder, and give your folder a name. Let's call it Pixilart. Press enter. And now we can organize our sprites for making our game. So I'm going to open a new window. I'll go to my downloads, and I'm going to click and drag my Rock 01 into my Pixilart folder. If I double click on my rock, it'll open up your design in your photo viewer. If you're on a Mac or PC, it'll open up in whatever your default photo viewer is. And you'll see that that rock is really small. So we're working in the smallest pixel size possible in Pixilart. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to use very simple looking graphics so we can actually make a whole game on our own. So there's our rock, and I'm going to show you how to save it as a Pixilart file so you can re-upload it and edit it. So as well as saving a PNG, it also lets you save as a pixel. So we'll click Save as Pixel, and we'll call that rock. And that file will also save to your downloads file. And we're going to need to organize that the same way we did with our PNG. So you'll see here, it's made a .pixel. So we'll just rename that. We'll call that rock 01. I'm going to open a new window for my desktop. Go to my desktop here. Change the view to large icons. Go into my Pixilart folder, and then I'm just going to click and drag my .pixel file into my Pixilart folder. So the difference is between these two files, the PNG we can open it with Paint, we can open it with Photos, and then you'll see it there. You can zoom in. There's your rock. And then the pixel file, you need to upload that into Pixilart to edit it. So I'll show you how to do that now. So once you have made a design, it gives you the option to upload it to your Pixilart gallery. So we've got 3 different ways of uploading and downloading our designs. For this one, I don't want to make this public. I'm just going to make it private. So it means only I can edit it. And I'm just going to call this one rock, because I've already made a rock on my account. I'll call this rock 02. And I'm not going to bother about any hashtags or any of that stuff. I'm just going to click Save Drawing. If you're interested in seeing that design, you can just click on Go to Image. And then that's in your account. If we go to Home, and then we go to Gallery, you can see Gallery. Gallery is the main gallery. If you click your profile and go to Gallery, that brings you to your gallery. So you can see I've got the 2 rocks there. These ones are public because they don't have the lock on them. And now I'm going to show you how to upload a design into Pixilart. So let's go to Start Drawing. And it should give us the option to open a pixel file. So if I click Open here, and I go to my desktop, go to my Pixilart folder, I have my rock. And if I click Open, it opens my design from my previous example that I showed you. So that is how we work in Pixilart.